Hi everyone again. Yep, welcome back to part 3 of explaining the police UK explaining the police caution when arrested. Explaining the caution when arrested, eh? Well, there was 3 parts to the caution. The first part, and by law you can exercise this right, and that is you do not have to say anything. Simple. You don't have to say nothing, not a word. Yeah, you don't have to say anything. Yeah. Part 2 is, but it may harm your defence when questioned, something which you later rely on in court. As I've said previously, every crime and evidence the police will have will never be the same. This is where the police can fuck you in court with the second part of the police caution, because they changed it quite a few years ago to their advantage, and not to the person who's been arrested, whether they're guilty or innocent. Now, what that means is that when you're in interview and the police ask you questions in relation to the offence you have been arrested for, and you decide for whatever reason to decline to answer any questions by saying the old famous 2 words that has been said more times in the police interview room than any other words in the history of police interviews, which is, you all know it, no comment. The interviewing officer will still continue to ask you questions, and you can continue to say no comment, no comment, no comment. And I advise, if you do say no comment from the start, continue to say no comment. Do not ever start saying no comment to certain questions and answering other questions. If you've got a good solicitor in the police station who's with you as your legal representative, and you do decide to say no comment, no comment, no comment to the questions, and then maybe answer a few, you will then intervene and say, I would like to remind my client to exercise his right by saying no comment and not to answer any questions. And always do a prepared statement prior to you being asked questions. But anyway, we'll do that in another video. Anyway, questions yet. If you keep saying no comment to the officer or officers that are asking you the questions surrounding the offence that you are in interview for, the officer will then again remind you of the caution you're under. Now, saying no comment has its positives and negatives. Positives is you ain't helping the police by not telling them nothing, which don't help them with their case, or they're you're not answering their questions, so they don't know. But the negatives is that if the offence you have been arrested for goes to court and you're charged and go to court because you get charged and you plead not guilty and have a trial, and when you stand in the witness box to give your account to the jury, yeah, when you're asked questions by the your defence or the prosecution, you can't say no comment then. You have to give an explanation, an account, and the judge at that point will direct the jury that and that the jury should be aware that even though the defendant is given an account now under oath in the witness stand in court, the defendant at the time of his arrest and interview made no comment when interviewed and was given every opportunity to do so. So the court, and what the judge is saying is, so the court can draw inference, which means because you said no comment in interview but are now given an explanation to the jury could think to themselves, well, you could be making it up. You could be making the story up now, what you're saying to the court, to the jury, because they will question that as to why you never said all this in interview. So when they go and deliberate, they'll be all saying, well, he said no comment in interview. Why did he say no comment in interview? But now, which he had perfect opportunity to do so, you know, but he decided not to. Now, is he made the story up? Didn't he have a story at the time of the interview? You know, blah 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 blah. There's so much, you know. I won't go into it now. I'll go into it another time. But that's what the jury will do. They will question that, and that could in itself get you a guilty. Not every time, not, you know, but it could do. I'm not saying it will, but it could. Again, in another video later, I'll explain how to explain this to the jury to help you another time. Don't worry about that. I know what to say, but I won't say all it now. And the third part of the caution is that anything you do say may be given in evidence, which is self-explanatory, really. Again, be careful, because what you say on tape and on audio video whilst interview, you have to say on trial. You can't change what you've said. If you say something in an interview and then when you give evidence under oath say something different or contradictory, yeah, to what you've said in an interview, or is inconsistent with what you said in the interview, again, it's not going to look good on you. So just be aware of that. Now let me explain to you guys how I explain the caution. And for that, I don't need nothing like this. Well, for over 20 years, my solicitors I've been faithful to, and that is a firm in Hendon, London, Northwest 4, 1 to 3 Heriot Street, and that is Darrow Ingrams and Co. And they've taught me a lot. They never taught me this, what I'm going to say to you, but they've been a great help, and as a client, and certain of my pals who have been clients to them, I can't speak for everyone, they've been 100% top. And the police a few years ago were very, very scared when you was arrested and you was given the right to a solicitor, and as soon as you mention the name Darrow Ingrams, they melted straight away. They just knew. Anyway, I know you, Daryl, and that's 0208 202 0843. If you're in trouble, guys, girls, call Darrow Ingrams. Now, when I'm in interview, I've been in interview, and I've been in interview quite a few times, and they explain the caution to me. Don't have to say anything, but in my defence, if you do not mention when questioned something which later rely on court, anything you do so will be given in evidence. Do you understand? Obviously, you know, I said this back in '97. I come up with this, and I just always say yes because they know me. I can't say no because they know that I'll be lying. So what the police officers then do is they say to me, "Okay, Mark, give me your explanation as to what you think the caution means." So again, I go through the 3 parts, such and such, explain it the way they've explained it to me. So I copy them, but then I also say, well, so, or another way of explaining it is that if I went to Holsden Neasden McDonald's on the North Circular next to IKEA near Wembley, enter the McDonald's restaurant with a 9mm submachine gun Uzi, and order 6 chicken nuggets, fries and a large strawberry milkshake. Run out the restaurant, get up the road, eat the evidence, get rid of the shooter, yeah, and then get arrested. And when arrested and interviewed, say no comment. But when it comes to court, I stand in the witness box under oath and say, well, it couldn't have been me because I was in Stonebridge Park with my pals having a few spliffs and a laugh, listening to some tunes, or in a studio or something, yeah. Or I was in Hyde Park with my girlfriend picking flowers at the time, so it couldn't have been me. The court that can then draw inference as to, well, why didn't he say that in an interview? He had a perfect opportunity to say that in the interview, Why didn't he say that in an interview, and why is he saying that now? So look, as I say again, when the jury go to deliberate, they can scratch their heads and think to themselves, well, he's saying that now, why didn't he say that in an interview when he had perfect opportunity to say that? And there will be some jurors in that jury service for my case, or whoever's case, your case, my case, whoever's case, will think to themselves, well, he could be lying, he could have made this story up. And that is the basics of the explanation of the police caution. Now, when I explain that to the police, ever since the first time I've explained it, every police officer, when they come in, they're all really confident. As soon as I explain the caution to them, the way I've just explained it here on video that's been uploaded to YouTube, straight away these professional specialised interviewing police officers that are trained to interview suspected offenders, they just lose their confidence straight away. They're straight on the back foot because they know straight away, you know, and a lot of them have said, cool, Mark, never had it explained like that before. Of course you fucking ain't, because I've just explained it to you. Do you know what I mean? And straight away they melt, their confidence just goes, you know, and they don't like it. When they know what you're talking about, they don't like it. But as I say, Dale Ingram's taught me a lot, but I tell you what, the police have taught me a lot as well, without them even knowing it. And I suppose that's all that I've got to say on the matter about the you know, the police caution, really, at this time. You may explain it in a certain ways as well, and there's another way I could explain it, which is very, very disrespectful to the police officer who's interviewing you. And it's it's not nice to explain it it's a certain way to them, because it is very disrespectful. But at the same time, I've used it a few times when I've not been happy with them and how they've treated me, and you just want to see them, their faces, they go red in the face and their cheeks, and they're so angry. But because they're on camera, all the own video, that there's absolutely F all they can do. But it is very disrespectful, and it is another good way to explain. And it's similar to what I've just said, but it's personal to them. Yeah, I won't say that today. So there you go. That is my explanation. Go online, check other solicitors' explanations as to the the caution, which is normally formal. The ones I've watched on YouTube anyway, they're all formal. But don't forget, some police officers don't help you in the way they should do. They just think about the money. Whereas Dale Ingrams, they don't like the police. They're not there just for the money, they're there for their clients. Always have been, and I would imagine always will be. So there you go, guys and girls. Welcome to HAPZ's University of Criminology, and this is just the basic start of it, just a basic explanation of the police caution.